Were you in Vegas when Tupac got killed?
I was actually at Snoop's house recording, and he had chose not to go out there to the fight because they had just came back from New York doing the radio circuit out there. Him, Pac, and Suge. And
Okay.
Suge had asked him did he want to go out there with him, and he told him he'd rather just chill and do some music. We was working on something then, and he called me to come out there and get down with him, and we got the word, and we wound up riding out there that night in a Hummer, me, him, and his uncle, and one of the securities and the driver. And we went and spent the night at Suge's house. He had the nick on his head from the bullet, and the guy who was behind, he gave me the story of how it took place. And we went and seen Pac when once visiting hours started. Well, we went to see him, and they was only letting a couple of people up because there was just so many people there at the Valley Memorial or something like that. It was just so many people there, and Snoop and the bodyguard went up. And he came back down, he said, man, I held his hand, Dee, he couldn't even squeeze my hand, homie. He was just, he was fucked up. And once we was pulling off the freeway, they was announcing that he had expired, and I was like, wow. I said, wow. It was that going back to Cali song. So I said, ooh. I said, my goodness, it's finna be cracking.
There was always what I thought was a stupid rumor about how Suge has something to do with it and so forth. But from what I understand, like some people, like I think I talked to Michelle A,
Mm-hmm.
Who was with Suge at the time. She said that they were really mourning Pac, like Suge was crying, and that they were unbelievably upset over what had happened.
Yeah, I saw them together too many times to even imagine dude having a heart that black. I mean, I know him, to a certain extent, and he'd have to be one of the best actors in the world because Pac was really like his little brother, man. I mean,
Yeah.
really, to sometime, wearing the same shirts, you know what I'm saying? It's like,
Matching
wow,
shirts?
like, I don't even know how to pronounce that shit. I never do that shit. I don't give a damn. I'm type, but they was like, Suge just loved him. Suge loved Pac, man. Pac loved him too. I saw it.
And I think it was Shock G said that Suge was the only dude that really could hold Pac down the way he wanted to be held down.
Because he gave him free reign, pretty much. How a lunatic gonna go at the lunatic, not call the Pac no lunatic, but Pac could go sometime. You know what I mean? So, if Suge got the leash, you can imagine how much slack he keep it on the leash. But yeah, they was a good duo, man. I'd have loved to see them together today without Suge going through what he went through, without Pac, and him and Biggie would have got past that. Man, it wouldn't be a lot of, I swear, I know this saying is true. It would not be this many people in hip hop. I guarantee. After their departure from this earth, bar quality has steadily
Gone down.
gone down like a bad stock market quote.
After Pac got killed, like what really changed in terms of, death row and what was going on over there?
I don't think they had another leg to stand on.
Well, they had Snoop.
No, Snoop was by that time when that was going on. Snoop was finding out about his bad publishing contract, and he was trying to do something about that, and he was very dissatisfied. He wasn't comfortable. He even tried to take us to get a deal in New York, and he had talked to Russell Simmons,
Okay.
and Suge had got word of it, and he shut it down immediately, and expressed that if Dog had any desires to do any kind of music, then it should be right here, in the family under the umbrella.
Huh.
So he laid the ultimatum out to us. That's what caused Lil C Style and South Central to depart from the LBC crew back then because they didn't want to have no parts of Death Row because they saw what was going on and they couldn't really, I guess they didn't really have the stomach for it or didn't have the patience to go through all the rigmarole dealing with, you know, the Bloods and, you know, the deceit, you know, well, contractual deceit that was taking place and all that. So, yeah, it really shook us up, you know what I'm saying, as far as like not being able to operate outside of, you know, outside of Death Row. But shit, Snoop wasn't happy at all there. So
Well,
they really had nobody else to follow up.
The Dogfather came out. Definitely wasn't Doggy Style.
No, it definitely wasn't Doggy Style.
Not a bad album, but it wasn't Doggy Style.
Nah, it wasn't. And I pretty much made my debut on that album too. You know, I did my best. You know, I was doing the game, but we wound up going on the Lollapalooza tour and pushing it up to 2 million. You know, so it wasn't a failure by any standards.
No, it definitely was not a
failure.
But
it wasn't too many people's favorites. Every now and then, maybe every 2-3 years, somebody would tell me, you know what, Dogfather, that's my album. You know, right.
Was Dr. Dre not involved in the Dogfather?
Not at all. He, you know, and that's why that comment Snoop made on one of his songs, like, you motherfuckers say beats make me. I don't need no motherfucking beats or something like that. He said, motherfuckers say I'm gonna be. Dog, you ain't gonna be shit without Dr. Dre beats. I said, motherfucking beats don't make me, you know, whatever he said right there. But I don't know what they was going through, but I guess probably Dre was just letting him get out on his own, see what he could do on his own. And you know, DJ Pooh did a lot of the album. You know, I liked the album personally, you know what I'm saying, but it wasn't his strongest album because you expected I think you expected that drawl and them slow, heavy bass line beats, and you know, when you didn't get that, it was so much of a departure from what you had just got. People didn't want to accept it.
Well, I mean, it was the Chronic came out, Doggy Style came out, Dog Food came out. Like you're talking about these albums that are just monsters. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you're talking about. You know, you know, it's kind of, you're comparing it to some real big shit.
No comparison.
You know, it's hard. It's hard to just look at it on its own as its own piece of art, because the shit that came right before.
Because you have to put it in.
Shit that came right before it was so monumental that it was insane.
It was.
Okay, so, and then after that, Snoop left.
Yeah, he went over to No Limit over there with Big Percy. The original Big Percy.
Shout out to Percy.
Yeah.
So he went over to Master P, did a few albums over there. Him and Suge didn't get along too well during these years. You know, it wasn't until somewhat recently, actually I think like a couple of years ago, that they even talked it out.
Yeah, I heard they did meet and talk.
Yeah.
I think it was a chance meeting or something.
Yeah,
but
one of those where he said they just went into a room by themselves, no security, no nothing, just...
I never seen no fear in Snoop for Suge. I mean, contrary to what people put out there and say he was doing this and that, at no course of my time there did I ever see Snoop look like he was actually frightened of Suge. I mean, he would talk to him and they would do what they do. You know, I don't know what went on behind closed doors, but I mean, I can't even speak on it. But you know, yeah.
Well, you know, I had Daz here not too long ago. Mm-hmm. He said that him and Suge would get into fist fights.
Daz and Suge?
Yeah.
Well, that was probably after the whole Death Row thing.
Yeah. Okay, so you
probably,
never.
No, that was probably like after Snoop left.
Left, yeah. Daz was like president of Death Row.
Corrupting Daz was ping-ponging, you know,
executive. Corrupted left already.
But he came back.
Oh, he came back later?
He came back.
Okay.
So they was ping-ponging executive positions, you know, in Death Row. So I don't know how that works out.
You know what I'm saying? Like you dissing Young Thug over here, Young Thug saying little things over there. Man, somebody do something. Ain't y'all niggas supposed to be gangsters? If you gonna be about it, be about it, fool. You know what I'm saying? Like I
was like, hey, what you doing? She was like, oh, my boyfriend. I was like, what? Oh, hate you.
I called a mutual friend and I was like, I really like him, da da da. And we linked up.